Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are joining us from. I am here today with Brian Chapman from Gradient MSP. Hello, Brian.
Hi, Scott. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Always happy to have the Gradient MSP team on board with us. Um, how's your day going today?
Doing well. We're just recouping from Canadian Thanksgiving up north and have turkey leftovers for the next 5 days. So life's good and visiting my in-laws. So this is just the beauty of working remote. So
Okay,
life's
great.
good.
Well, as an American myself, I forget that Thanksgiving is celebrated in other countries on different times. So, yeah, so you guys are eating turkey and all the good stuff. Or is turkey a part of Thanksgiving for Canadians?
Heck yeah. You can't have
Okay,
you can't have Thanksgiving without the turkey, the whole kit and caboodle. So
that's
no,
right.
very adamant in having turkey Thanksgiving dinners for sure.
All right. Well, how's the weather where you are in Canada?
Well, I'm visiting, like I said, my in-laws. So they live on Vancouver Island, which, if you don't
Okay.
know, is in British Columbia, Canada, and it's just this little island off of Vancouver. So, um, yeah, visiting and blue skies, nice ocean breeze, can't complain.
Nice. Well, that sounds like a an optimal place to be. Right now, I'm in sunny South Carolina, and it's 73 degrees. So I'll take it if it stayed this
That's
temperature year
nice.
round. I would be happy.
Yeah,
So usually South Carolina has the humidity behind it, and that's what's the killer. So,
right.
but anyways, well, listen, Brian, I hear that there's some new exciting news from Gradient MSP about a launch today.
Yes, it's all happening as we speak. So we are launching our alerts module. So
Okay.
if you've heard all the hype about grading MSP and what we do, you've probably seen us at some shows here and there, and you've heard all about our billing module. Now we've expanded upon synthesize our platform to expand onto another solution, and that is just alerts. So we'll
Okay.
be able to do a high level of both modules today, and we're going to throw in a link there to take a deep dive into alerts with our launch partner, Breach Seeker Now. So that's
Okay.
coming later this week, and yeah, I'll throw some other tidbits as to what's coming to with our alerts module, what other integrations are coming, and so on and so forth.
Excellent. Excellent. So, before you get started, tell us a little bit about Gradient MSP for those viewers who aren't familiar with your company.
Yeah, it's a great question, and that's really where the conversation starts.
Okay.
When you think of gradient MSP, we're not an MSP for one. We're in the business of helping MSPs. So if you've heard of us, you probably heard of Colin Knox and Ryan Barker, the co-founders of Gradient MSP. They created and sold their MSP long ago, and since then they went through and created and founded what we now know as Passportal. So they
Yep.
then sold that to SolarWinds, now Enable, and then they're serial entrepreneurs. They want to help MSPs. Uh, you know, pretty much everyone at Gradient has a background as being a part of an MSP. Myself, being a part of an MSP for 6+ years, know all the pain and suffering that comes in having to run a business like that, and it's not easy. So that's where Gradient in lies. We're here to help MSPs make their lives easier. So this is where back in November we released our billing module.
Okay.
Our billing module is set to solve one of the biggest problems that all MSPs face. No matter how big or small you are, you ultimately needs to get paid for everything that you do. So Q, our billing module, this is where we're pulling in usage from your vendor accounts and then cross-referencing that to what you have within your PSA and effectively doing that cross comparison, truing up your unit counts and getting paid for everything that you do. Now, that is one of the biggest solutions or problems that MSPs face. Now, let's talk about the other. The other is just alerts. Just imagine, like right now, I can imagine that you're parsing through your PSA board and prioritizing things, looking through a flood of alerts and having to go through multiple mailboxes, or there's potentially some vendors that you work with in which don't have a native integration with your PSA. And that's where you're trying to find ulterior motives in trying to get those alerts queued up. Now, this is where we're set to resolve that problem through our alerts module. Now, our alerts module, like I said, is being released as we speak. So this is really exciting for us. And this just further sets the foundation for Gradient being the coupler within the IT channel. I like to reference us as like a coupler because what we're truly doing is one of a kind. We're integrating with all of the vendors within the IT channel, your partners that you work with on a day-to-day, and we're seamlessly integrating those services to your PSA or platform of choice. Right now, we integrate with 9 PSAs on the market. That list will continue to grow. And as of right now, as far as the vendors side of things go, we have several integrations. We have 5 integrations being released in October alone. That library will just continue to explode. We have, since announcing our integrations platform back in Valentine's Day, we have 80 plus vendors committed to integrating with us. So we really are setting ourselves apart to be the integration platform in the channel, which is really, really exciting.
So can you share with us some of the PSAs that you are currently integrated with?
Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, why not just pull up that that presentation here?
Sure.
And we've highlighted a number of things. You know what? I won't even bother. It's just too much work. But here we go. I'm gonna list them off. So if you hear your PSA, maybe jump into chat. I don't know. If you don't hear it, jump into chat. We want to hear, because again, that list will continue to grow. We want to integrate with all of your platforms, again, with your platform of choice, because we truly want to make we want to have an open ecosystem within the channel, of course, for you as an MSP to be able to choose, use, and deploy any service that you want. Just imagine a world where you're evaluating a vendor, and what's the number one question that comes up? Scott, you probably know. Does it integrate with your PSA?
Yeah. Is there a current integration, an API
Yeah.
for it?
Yeah, that's right. So this is what we're out to solve, because we truly want to create that ecosystem for you as an MSP to go out and choose any best in breed service that you want for yourself and your customers, and it seamlessly integrate with your platform of choice. So right now, let's talk about the 9 PSAs that we currently support. Datto Autotask PSA, ConnectWise Manage, Synchro, Halo PSA, Kaseya BMS, Pulseway, Acello, TigerPaw, and Cloud Blue PSA, formerly known as Harmony.
Okay,
So
that's a lot.
those are the 9. Yeah, it's a big list. It's a big list. So this is where our both our alerts module and our billing module have feature parity with those PSAs. So what you see on screen as we take a little bit of a deep dive and really showcase what that looks like. Whatever I show you today is going to be seamlessly integrated with any of those PSAs. Now, this is where, again, the nomenclature that comes with every PSA is different. And we can get into the weeds as what it means for those managed users or Autotask users and whatnot. Myself, I haven't even introduced myself, but my name is Brian. I'm the partner success manager at Gradient MSP. So I get the privilege of speaking with partners, MSPs, every day. And this is where I'm usually onboarding, triaging, coming up with solutions just to make sure that when it comes to billing, you're pulling out that usage from your vendors and you have a seamless experience. And then now that we're introducing our alerts module, making sure that you get timely, accurate, and secure alerts, again, within your PSA. So That's where I fit in. And again, I speak with MSPs on a daily, and man, I could go on and on as to the heartache that comes with both a billing and alerts. And again, this is what we're set out to resolve today. So really exciting.
Okay. Well, I think if you've been in the industry, you said you worked yourself for an MSP for 6 years. So you know
Mhm.
the day-to-day struggles that MSPs face.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just think of alerts alone. Um, it's so easy to miss an alert when
Yeah.
it's sent to an inbox or a PSA board. Techs waste so much time looking into important alerts and how are you supposed to prioritize and how is this affected by certain workflows or SLAs and contractuals. There's just too many alerts out there, and it's a real thorn in the side of an MSP. So, you know, this is where that stack continues to grow. And since like you were just getting out of COVID, just having to move everyone from the office to remote work from home and then back again, and then we're adding more tools to their stack and security implications that come with those things. Alerts matter, and we need timely, accurate alerts and not just get flooded with things where all of a sudden our technicians, they're wasting their time. We need to automate those things and again, just make your life easier so you have timely alerts. You can action those much quicker, faster, and then on the flip side with billing, get paid for everything that you do. So again, this is where
Nice.
Gradient is set to resolve two of, quite honestly, the biggest problems that all MSPs face, and we'll touch on both of those today.
All right. Well, yeah, I can tell you as an MSP myself, I feel like I spend half of my time just reviewing alerts. I mean, they don't stop. It's
No,
24/7. It's not like alerts only come in from 9 to 5. So
yeah,
they
yeah,
never
and
stop.
you're always like finessing those things too, right?
That's right.
So,
Trying to figure
you
out
know,
if they're a good alert or do I need to act on this? Is it benign? Uh, you
mhm,
know, it's it,
yeah,
it's alerts can be problematic for sure.
yeah, absolutely. So, now Scott, like you probably covered all of my slide deck, so we can just get straight into the product if you wanted to.
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
All right, I'm sure everyone's eager to see what this looks like. So I'm going to flip between my screens here and jump straight to our platform. Now, you're gonna have to bear with me on everything because again, this is live as of like minutes ago. So if you're on the call and you want to get set up with alerts or you want to try out our billing module, by all means, you can go to meetgradient.com, hit that login button and register for an account today. It's free to get started. And I'll touch on that more if there's any questions as far as pricing and whatnot. But again, I just want to show and get down to the meat and potatoes as to our product. So
Okay.
without further ado, I'm going to share my screen here or my browser. So you should
Perfect.
see my browser there.
Yep.
And I'm gonna hide some of the stuff here. So this is where come into our platform, you've done the initial setup, you integrated your PSA. This is where you can jump straight to our vendor integrations page. Within our alerts module or our billing module, there's a basic plan, and that basic plan just allows you to integrate with your PSA. There's some freemium, it's a freemium model where you can just get started today, all free of charge. Within our alerts module, you can turn on that first standard integration for free. So if you happen to be a breach secure um, partner, by all means, get started today, turn on this alert, see what you can do, get those alerts created within your PSA board of your choice, and see the power of our platform. So again, our launch partner is Breach Secure Now. It's seamlessly integrating all of their services to your PSA, and this is where we can get started. Now, We distinguish integrations by whether or not they are integrated with alerts, billing, or both within our integrations page. If you're ever curious about what integrations we currently support, why not go to our integrations page within our website? You're going to be able to search for integrations there, whether or not they're supported within billing, alerts, or both. But this is where you're going to be able to see those that are coming soon as well. Now, I'm going to be highlighting our launch partner with Breach Secure Now. There are five total integrations coming in the month of October, which is really, really exciting. Again, on
Excellent.
average, I think we have like 5 to 7 integrations coming each and every month for the foreseeable future. So really exciting. Come to our integrations page. We're trying to update this as often as we can. Other alerts partners, just if I will right now, Comet Backup and CompTIA are coming within the next couple of weeks here as well. But we're going to take a deeper dive into Breach Secure now. Scott's going to share out in chat a webinar link. And I would encourage you, if you're a Breach Secure Now partner or just wanted to get some more information on alerts and take that deep dive, this is where you can register for that webinar. And that's happening later this week, which is awesome. And so with that said, this is where we're going to connect to that integration, and we're going to just go through a nice simple setup of getting that integrated. So we're first going to generate that API token, and don't worry, I'm going to remove this integration. So whatever, if you do want, you can by all means copy that API token, but it's not going to be around for very long. But the idea here is we're going to copy that API token and jump straight to your vendor portal. In this case, this is going straight to the BSN portal. We're going to the TMS configuration there. We're going to enable the TMS system for Gradient. And then this is where we're going to populate that integration key. We're going to click connect. And this is where we're going to pull in your names of all your clients. We're going to give you access to your PSA boards. And yes, we're going to commit to that. And once that's done, this is where you're just going to go ahead and go jump back to Gradient. This is where we're almost ready to get started here. This is as easy as it gets. And quite honestly, the next step here is just to get your board ID, and you're going to populate that. You're going to check for permissions, make sure that those come through properly. Oops, I thought I had full API permissions on this, and in fact I don't. So bear with me. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen for a quick second. Again, we're doing this. This is startup mentality here. We like to move fast at Gradient. We're moving fast with this alerts module. You know, I'm hoping that I would be able to showcase this, but just the integration setup, but maybe I'll leave that to the BSN webinar there, and maybe I'll just take this time to dive a little bit more into billing, our billing module. So
Okay.
I don't want to sit here and twiddle my thumbs at all and trying to get my API privileges to work. I thought I had populated global API, so I didn't have to be bothered with that. But we do commit ourselves to abiding by the principle of least privileged API. So that's both for our alerts and billing module. So once that's set up, obviously I wasn't able to show you the full extent of what that integration setup looks like, but it's quite easy. All we're mapping is your services within your vendor accounts to
Okay.
your PSA board of choice. So think of Breach Secure Now, think of a service that they have. Well, one of their services is dark web monitoring. So this is where like we can then map that service to a PSA board. And as soon as that's configured, we are triggering alerts, and we're going to be the middleman for you to then create those alerts in your platform of choice. So now Breach Secure Now and any vendor that comes to us will seamlessly integrate with those PSAs that I listed before, which is absolutely phenomenal. So now again, going back to the vision of Gradient, is we're empowering you as an MSP to go out and choose, use, and deploy any service that you want. Again, so you're not confined or complacent with your vendor stack, your tool stack. You can quite honestly go out and choose the best breed solutions out there for you and your clients. So
Okay.
that's where the alerts module comes into play. Now let's just talk about like what's included um, within this release now, and what's on the horizon, because as far as V1 of our alerts module, this is where we're going to iterate all the time, continuous improvement onto both modules and the synthesized platform. Now, if we were just to look at the first release as of today, what our alerts module looks like. Now, I don't want to just lollygag around any of these or sugarcoat them by any means. But here's the thing: it's a brand new user experience for mapping services, accounts, boards, your PSA boards, your queues, and managing new and existing integrations. So this is where, Breach Secure Now, CompTIA, Comet Backup will now forward alerts from your selected services within your vendor portals to your PSA board of choice, like I said before. And then this is where you then, right now, you can, if you're a partner of Autotask, Kaseya, BMS, this is where you can, as of right now, use our alerts integration. When I mentioned the other 7 PSAs, those will slowly have feature parity within the coming months. So this is where we truly are building the foundation, because what we know matters most to MSPs is having firm foundations, being able to trust in a platform that gives you timely and accurate alerts. So we're doing our due diligence and making sure that whatever alert is triggered is properly created within your PSA. And that's why we only have the 2 PSAs supported. But again, in the coming months, this is where we're going to support all 9 PSAs that we currently support within our billing module. So
Okay.
again, that will come, but right now, Autotask, Kaseya, BMS are at launch. And if you choose Breach Secure Now, but lack a supported PSA, just straight up, we won't allow you to configure the integration. So you just have to wait until we do support the remainder 7 PSAs. But
Okay.
again, like I said, that's where we're going to have that feature parity in the coming months. So
Okay.
now I'm whipping through this real fast. Now, as far as alerts go, what's on the horizon? Well, to be frank, there's a lot. There's like we've heard those outcries from our partners, when it comes to vendors as well, because there's twofold. We support both MSPs and vendors within the channel, and there's a lot coming back to us, and we're on a mission to support all those things. Now,
Very nice.
of course, new PSAs, ConnectWise, Pulseway, Synchro, Halo, all those are coming down the pipeline. New vendors, this is where I mentioned earlier, Comet Backup, CompTIA. There's a few others that I probably shouldn't name right now. I don't want to spill too many. I don't want to spill all the candy, but there's lots on the horizon as far as vendor integrations. But let's just look at the new features coming in the coming months as well, because this is really truly what gets me excited. It's filtering rule sets. So just imagine the services, the accounts, the types, the subtypes, the categories, the subcategories, the frequency in which those alerts should be triggered, the time of day, after hours, duplication of tickets. How often do you get duplicate tickets from, say, your RMM, and you're just flooded by alerts? I, for one, hated that. And this is where we're introducing threaded alerts as well. So this is where we're not just duplicating alert after alert. We're then threading them in, so that way you get timely alerts that matter most to you, and it's not just getting hidden behind hundreds of other tickets that have been created within your PSA. Other features that are coming in the upcoming months as well, which is really exciting, is self-resolving or self-healing alerts, mapping services to individual PSA boards and queues, And then further to that, I think this is further down the road with self-resolving alerts, is that of email ingestion. So we recognize that PSAs have a hard time in dealing with email ingestion as well. So this is where we're taking all of the feedback that we hear from our partners, and building that into our platform, so we truly can, we're not just duplicating a current integration. We're taking that and we're augmenting that. We're taking it to the next level and solving for issues that you already face. So this is where, like, I implore you, if you're an MSP and you want to get started today, do so. Give it a try. Give our billing module a try. This is where you give us the honest feedback and what matters most to you, those pain points. We hear that, and this is where, like, I fit in, being partner success, client facing. This is where I want to hear those problems that you face every day, because this truly is where our platform will continue to expand, because we value all your feedback when it comes to this, because quite honestly, that's where the evolution of our platform continues to expand, and it's
Well,
directly influenced by those that use it, right?
and without feedback, you can't improve the platform.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So I touched a lot on alerts, and I just encourage you. I think Scott, you might have already shared that out within the chat there. If you want to take a deep dive into our alerts, and
Yeah.
but maybe I'll take the rest of this time to touch on our billing module, because we still have a lot to talk about when it comes to that, and we have a full hour here. So I appreciate everyone's time here, and maybe I can just touch on that. So I don't know, Scott, has there been any questions that come through, or anything that feel
Not
free to
yet.
interrupt me.
Yeah, I'll
All
let
right.
you know.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, I'm sure that there would be a lot more if I could have just showcased that, but I don't want to be bothered with all the API permissions
Sure,
that
sure.
are there. So I'm going to take the time here to take a look into our billing module. So this is where I'm going to start with the wow factor. I'm just going to queue up like a little demo instance here. I'm going to share my screen momentarily,
Yeah.
and just give me a quick second here. So our billing module is built upon our synthesized platform. And again, this is where we have both direct integrations with vendors and their services, so you can automatically pull in that usage. But also we are allowing you to, in lieu of there not being any integration, be able to ingest a CSV import file for you to then ingest that CSV. Now, what does that look like? And I'll show on my screen right now. I just was queuing up a test instance. Is something like this. Now, aside from the gross revenue and profits, this is just a test instance, so bear with
Okay.
me. But this is where we're pulling in all of your additions, your contract line items, every line item across all your client contracts or agreements within your PSA, and we're pooling them all together per service offering. And why is this important? Because it just gives you single page resale visibility into your entire resale stack, rather than having to reconcile by contract, which most MSPs do. We're flipping that. We're creating new habits for you then to effectively streamline that billing reconciliation process. So what you see here is effectively every service that you resell to your customers, and we're grouping all of those contract line items per service offering. So this is where you right now we showcase those as service cards, and these service cards are showing you, as of right now, your PSA count. So if we're looking at workstation support, maybe this is a bundle that a managed service offering that you sell to your customers. Well, a service card would indicate the customer, the recurring agreement or contract, and the number of units on that for that particular service. So right now, right out of the gate, we're just pulling in all that information from your PSA. Now, how do we streamline billing reconciliation? Now, it's one thing just to get that one PSA count, but it's another just to validate what you're currently paying out of pocket from your vendor accounts or your reseller accounts. Now, this is where we then have direct integrations with other billing integrations like LionGuard, Nodeware. There's some other coming down the pipeline. This is where we have also integrations with data continuity. We have a whole slew of integrations within our billing module right now. This is where, again, you can turn on that integration, connect to those vendor portals, pull in that usage automatically. And once that's all said and done, this is where you're just going to go through the review and reconcile process and streamline that process. So you not only save time and money and all the unnecessary overhead that comes with billing, but you get invoice accuracy. You're not overcharging your clients, which then could result in hundreds, if not thousands of dollars worth of write-offs. I've been there, done that. I've
Yeah.
experienced it. It sucks. Like, Scott, like, tell me about a time where you've overcharged a client. It's gotta have happened, right?
Sure, it happens. I mean, we're all human. We make mistakes.
Yeah, that's right. So this is where instead of you having to go through your PSA to those contracts, to an line item, adjust that quantity, that in itself is arduous. Time consuming for sure. So this is where we pull all that in, we pull in your vendor usage so you can do that as easy as possible. So if you're a CEO or the CEO, CTO, CFO right now that's doing the reconciliation, why not pass that on to someone else? You got more important things to worry about.
That's true.
Right? So this is where we fit in with our billing module as well. So this is where you can just quickly connect. And if you can't connect, if in lieu of those integration, again, we have several coming out every month. Again, go to that integrations page on our website, see what's coming next. This is where you can take advantage of our CSV import. So this is where you can drag and drop, upload an import file. And quite honestly, most, if not all of your vendors do support a CSV export or export a usage export of some kind. This is where you're going to be able to create that profile. And I wanted to show you this because quite honestly, this is where, there's still a lot of time savings in doing so. When we create a profile, we're going to save all the mappings from that usage report for you. And that way, once you do that initial mapping of that CSV import profile, you're going to be able to select that profile from the dropdown here. Again, we already saved those mappings. So that way you come next month, when you import usage from that vendor, you can select that vendor profile from the dropdown here. So essentially you're creating a profile per CSV or per vendor. So that way you can use that saved profile repeatedly month in, month out as a template. Yeah, exactly.
Got it.
That's the word that I was looking for. Thanks, guys.
Template.
That's the one. So if we were thinking like, oh, maybe we would just want to secure now, maybe you wanted to pull in usage. I don't know what it would be, but here's where we can just go in here, select that, associate that vendor, go through the steps of just mapping the 3 fields that we require from the synthesized platform to that of your import file. So this brings me back to my elementary days. This is where like my son is currently in kindergarten doing these matching games. It brings me back because there's some fun in it. You can just click, drag, and drop and match those appropriately to what's on the import file to the right. So we give you some sample data here. We give you the list of headers or columns within that import file, and you're just matching those appropriately. Once all said and done, you're going through the process of then mapping your accounts, and then after that, your services. So if there's an exact match, this is where we're going to map those accordingly. If not, then it's just a matter of just mapping these to your customer list within your PSA. So this is where we can just click that little filter button, do a partial search. You can search here as well. So this is where we're just going to, for the sake of this demo, just go through this real quick and just map these other ones here. Boom, boom, boom. And once all said and done, you're going to see Phil, the spokesbird, because we love flamingos over here at Agreement, is you map all your accounts. So on to the next step, this is where we're going to map services. And this mapping experience, this modernized mapping experience is throughout our billing module. So when
Okay.
you go to integrate, turn on a direct integration with one of our synthesized vendor partners, this is where this mapping experience is a one and done, but it's very, very similar. So you still have to map all your customer accounts within your vendor to that of your PSA. You still have to map your vendor SKUs or products to that of services that you resell within your PSA, but it's a one and done. And we do have the flexibility, regardless if you itemize, you have service bundles, or if you have a hodgepodge of both, we have the flexibility to support either or. So if you're right now on this webinar and you're like, Brian, I do itemization, or my agreements are a complete mess, my services are all, I don't have any consistency, no worry. We have the flexibility within our platform to support those needs. So this is where, again, within that import file, we see some products or we see some SKUs, but we all know MSPs love to white label their services. So again, we can hit that little filter there, do a partial search, find that particular service within your product catalog, your service catalog within your PSA, and map those appropriately. Once that's done, again, as we're mapping these things, we're saving it for you to use as a template repeatedly month in, month out. So this is, again, real easy, just drag and drop. And then finally, we're going to land on the last page here, which is we're just going to give a brief synopsis of as to what's happening. We're not going to update any of these quantities until you approve them. So you're okay to save and import these quantities and review those updates, because
Okay.
we are huge advocates right now of just being able to see that visually so you can make better business decisions and not just turn on integration and hope, fingers crossed, that it works and it's
Right.
automatically reconciling these things for you. We want to give you the ability to review potentially underperforming services where you see overall your net profit revenue. And as you pull in usage, you're going to see the net profit and revenue changes, not only overall, but per service offering, because this matters. And this matters why? Because you might have huge swings in deltas or changes within the last 30 days of usage. This is where you can then take out that magnifying glass. Maybe you're looking at workstation support, or maybe this is like Microsoft 365 Business Premium. Maybe you want to look into your distro or your reseller account and see exactly, well, why do I have, in this case with Wayland Yutani, a downgrade of like 25 units or so, or 15 units or so. This is where you can then see those changes and okay, if it checks out, approve. As soon as you approve that service card, it's going to be removed from the reconciliation page here and automatically instantly updated to that agreement within your PSA, instantly updating those unit counts. So again, what you see on these service cards is on the left, your PSA count, what is currently within your PSA for that particular agreement. And then on the right, the usage that was pulled either through a CSV or a direct integration. So again, we're just giving you that ability to review and reconcile. We have the ability to expand those service offerings open to see all that usage. You can do a select all, approve. You can go through here. Oh, maybe I want to take a look at this one and this one. Huge deltas. If that's the case, you can improve the others. Now, on top of this is where you might see newfound revenue. This is indicative of you currently not billing for this particular service, but we actually extracted usage from your vendor or CSV import. So this is indicated here as unbilled revenue. This is where you can then right now add those 12 new units to an existing contract within your PSA. Now, all intents and purposes, I'm in a test instance. A lot of people have their fingers all over this. But once you have that contract in here, this is where you can assign that. So that's just how easy it is when it comes to reconciliation. You can go through this, select all, approve. Again, as soon as you approve those things is the minute we're going to update that line item within your recurring contracts within your PSA and fully streamline that process. So whether you want to use our billing module for one, two, three, if not all of your vendors and your 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 stack, your resale stack, by all means, go wild. Now, if you're probably saying, Brian, I already have integrations with my distro or some vendor accounts within my PSA. Where do we fit? Well, we fit in too, just to audit those existing integrations that you have, making sure that they are working as they intend to. So this is where you can, again, take advantage of our CSV imports, take advantage of our direct integrations, highlighting LionGuard if you happen to be a LionGuard partner. This is something that we built in-house and we're really, really proud of. This is integration that is utilizing their pre-existing integrations, their inspector types. They have 70 plus inspector types where you could effectively reconcile your whole resale stack with just the one integration alone. So this is where like the power of direct integrations comes full throttle. This is where our platform is going, and it will continue to go, in the sense that we, again, going back to my previous comments, is Gradient is going to be the, if not is the integration platform of choice. This is where we are seamlessly integrating all of your vendors to that of our billing and alerts modules, and integrated seamlessly with your PSA or platform of choice. So again, we are in the business of helping MSPs make their life easier, because it's already hard enough running an MSP as it is. We're trying to make that a little bit easier. And this is, again, where you can then take full advantage of our platform, take advantage of both modules, either or, it doesn't matter. If you have an alerts need, maybe that fits that. If you have a billing, this is where we fit in, or you want to take advantage of both modules, by all means, you can get started today. As easy as going to our website, hitting that login button, setting up, registering your account, connecting to your PSA and whatnot. So lots of things happening at Gradient for sure. I'll probably stop my sharing my screen right now so you can see our pretty faces, but lots happening. And the best way of getting a hold of us is just getting started. I mean, I'm all ears. We're all ears if you have any questions. But again, I would encourage you to go to that deep dive webinar with our launch partner, Breach Secure Now, as we get into the nitty gritty with our alerts module and whatnot. So yeah, there's a ton happening, and there's even more that I even haven't even mentioned when it comes to our billing module that's coming within the next couple of months too. By the end of this year, man, we're doing some incredible things, and if you're not already a partner of ours, you're going to be wanting to.
So I've got a quick question for
yeah.
you. So I understand the whole concept with Gradient MSP, the billing reconciliation. We help find money that's missing that you haven't billed. So how, out of all of your current MSP partners, how much money has Gradient MSP uncovered?
That's a great question. So this number changes quite often. This is
Okay.
where, on average, the first invoice cycle when they use our billing module,
Mhm.
they MSPs uncover, our partners uncover up to $1,200 in monthly recurring revenue. So that's not a small number, and that's on average. If you're a
That's per
smaller
month, right?
MSP, that's a MRR we're talking. So
Yeah.
that's uncovering a lot of opportunity there, and just using our platform for the first month. And whether or not
Sure.
you just do a partial reconciliation or not, you're still finding something. And if it's not MRR, then it's probably something else. Like I've spoken with partners and getting them onboarded. They've connected our billing module for the first time, haven't even imported any usage. And then they're like, holy cow, like our services are a complete mess. Our agreements are a complete mess. Like this is even just we're talking best practices here. Like let's standardize those things so you can maximize on those profits, because quite honestly, this is where the industry is continuing to evolve. MSPs are trending to that of like service bundles or packages, and being able to have the granularity and reporting into the cost of goods sold and all of that. This is where, like, speaking with myself and our success team, once you first get started with us, is that we take you on that journey. We look at your current resale stack, how we're going to pull in that usage. How is that working for you right now? How can we streamline that? Is there any opportunity for you to then standardize your agreements, have some consistency, maybe then expand on PSA specifics and take a deep dive into how you configure your agreements and what your biggest pain points are. That's truly like where Gradient stands out is, the people matter most to us, and like we truly do come from the MSP side and we care, and this is where it shows through our support and our success teams, and just trying to nurture them into better habits and getting them into better business operations and streamlining those things that way. And now with alerts, this comes full circle. This is now like there's not any vendor that doesn't want to integrate with us now, right? Like we're gonna have a flood of integrations coming our way as a result, now that we can both support billing and alerts. So
Nice.
it's truly exciting.
So tell me one more time, and I guess do you have anything else you want to share? I was going to say, if not, if you want to share your screen and take us on your screen where an IT
Sure.
business owner can go if they are watching the live stream. We're also going to upload this to YouTube, our IT Business Owners Group YouTube channel. So it may be 6 months from now, but tell us if you'll take us where someone should go if they are interested and signing up with Gradient MSP.
Yeah, if you're wanting to know more about Gradient and or even just get started today, and
Okay.
again, it's free for you to get started. You just have to go to meetgradient.com, and you're going to be introduced to our company mascot. If you didn't know already, we're pretty loud and in charge. If you see us at any vendor channel events or anything like that, we're wearing MSP Hype Squad tracksuits. It's really hard to miss us. But this is where you can just hit that button, try it for free, log in, register. You're going to be prompted to just sign in one of three ways: is just through email, through Microsoft or Google SSO. You can get started. You're going to go through an initial configuration and making sure that you create that API user, again, least privilege access to your PSA. And once that's all said and done, that really truly only takes 10 minutes of your time today, just getting started and getting that initial sync with your PSA. Well, once that's done, then you're going to be assigned to our success team. You'll likely speak with myself or someone within our success team, and we're there to support you and shepherd you through taking full advantage of our platform, whether it be billing, alerts, or both. So
Okay.
that's truly as easy as it gets. And then I encourage you, like I said before, go to our integration page, go to learn more about us. We have it all. We're fully transparent as to who we are, but yeah, there's lots happening. And once you get a partner, maybe I'll spill some more candy as to what's coming next within our billing alerts module, because again, we're iterating things. I think it feels like every week, because we're in just like this hyper startup growth right now, and it's really exciting to see. And myself coming from an MSP, it's much needed, because we're truly groundbreaking when it comes to just inserting ourselves into the channel and being the integration hub of choice for you as an MSP to, again, choose, use, deploy any service that you want. Go out and choose the best of breed solutions out there, because there's a lot of vendors out there, and that way you don't have to compromise on any of your services, and make sure that you are in turn operationally sound, but also taking care of your clients.
Awesome. Well, Brian, thank you so much for your time. I hope that everyone who's watching this live stream will take a moment and go to meetgradient.com and sign up to be a Gradient partner. And you can join the ranks and have Gradient come in and hopefully find some missing MRR or annual recurring revenue. So
Yeah,
finding that recurring
you'll
revenue is key.
yeah, and you'll join close to 700 MSPs that are currently partnered with us. So
Wow.
we're not just starting out here. We've since we launched our synthesized billing module back in November of last year. We have, like, I think last time I checked, around 650. So we're nearing that 700 mark, but there's no question that there's platform partners that are currently using this, and they're finding that MRR. They're attaining that invoice accuracy, and now that we have alerts, this is where you can seamlessly integrate our alerts module with your vendors that we integrate as well. And then, of course, we're going to be iterating that to include email ingestion later on, further down the road too, which is awesome. But the next steps for alerts is threaded alerts and that of rule sets, to expand on our current feature set that we have with alerts. So lots of exciting stuff for sure, and we just implore you to get started, because like I said before, we want to hear your feedback, because that matters most to us. That way we can prioritize our roadmap as best as we can to suit your needs as an MSP.
Excellent. Well, Brian, thank you so much. That was an excellent demo. Thank you for taking the time to, share this exciting news with us and the IT Business Owners Group community. We appreciate it
Yes,
and hope to have you back soon.
thank you so much. Thanks, Scott. Thanks all, and have a great day.
Sounds good. Thank you,
Bye
Brian.
now.
Bye bye.